Yo, what's up guys, Aiden here. So in this video today I'm going to share with you how I made $1,000 trading stocks. I'm really pleased to be making this video today because I've only made $1,000 in a day twice in recent years, so the novelty is still quite fresh. I traded two tickers. I traded SGN and QH. QH was a swing idea that was shared in Roland Wolf's chat room by one of his senior team members, Tanner. I didn't just jump straight into the trade. I had a good look at the chart and saw if it made sense with me, and it did, so I took the trade. Quite unusual for me to take a swing, as it doesn't really suit my personality, but this one kind of set up too well for my liking. But yeah, big thanks to Tanner, if you're watching, for bring that ticker to my awareness once again. The other ticker that I traded was SGN. I took 3 trades on that, and I did trade it pretty well, but I also made quite a big mistake on it, and it's the same mistake I made a few days ago or last week on GSIW. So I'll break both of these tickers down and show you exactly how I traded them. So let's have a look at the charts. Just before we get into the charts, I just wanted to say that I'm really pleased with how I approached the market this morning. So those of you who watched my last video will know that I recently, well, on Friday, added 10k to my account and then had a completely undisciplined day of trading. So for me today, it was very important that I approached this in a very methodical, calm way, and I was willing not to trade today if there wasn't a trade there to be taken. So it's good that I made this $1,000. I'm really pleased with that, but I'm probably equally or more pleased with the way in which I approached the market this morning, which again was calm, methodical, and just looking to see if the market offered me an opportunity that I wanted to take. Alright, cool. So the first trade I took was with SGN. So firstly, I'm going to quickly jump over to the intraday chart. Now, SGN is the ticker that I made a big mistake on. I'm going to explain what that is momentarily. So SGN had this big first green day back here on the 19th of September. I did not trade this, but it was the big percent gainer on the day and sort of ignited the bottom bouncers, as this was a bottom bouncer. There might have been some bottom bouncers before this, but I was unaware of them. This is the first one that sort of sprung to my mind, or came to my awareness, I should say. Now, as I missed this day, many of you will know that my trading style, if I miss the first big day of the move, what I'm going to look for after that is a first green day or a first green day bounce. Now, if you don't know what that is, I will do a separate video on what a first green day is, and I've been promising that for a little while, so I will do that. But it is probably my favourite setup on listed stocks. But basically, just to break it down really quickly, if a stock has a big day one, huge volume, a huge increase in price, then I'm looking for it to have at least one red day and a pullback, and then from there have its first green day where the ticker turns green on the day and has a bounce. So this is today. Some people may look at that and say, well, it's having a red day because, you know, the candle's red, but it is actually a green day because this price is currently above the previous close on Friday. So if we jump straight to the intraday, okay, so this is the big day one. Okay, now firstly I'm going to share with you the mistake that I made, and it's the same mistake I made with GSIW. So if you don't know what that is, so I'm looking for a first green day here. Okay, now I'm with E-Trade and I can start trading from 7 a.m. Now this has the potential to have a lot of eyes on it because it did have this big day one on huge volume. So there's people looking and having the same trade ideas as I have. So ideally I need to be here from 7 a.m. because if this is down here near support, there's a chance when brokers open at 7 a.m. people are going to have the same idea, buy into it, and it's going to spike. But I wasn't here for 7 a.m. and I should have been, especially because GSIW, this was the one here. No, not GSIW. What was it? Hang on a second. Yeah, sorry guys, it wasn't GSIW, it was GLMD. Okay, this was the one. So if we go to the daily chart here, huge day one, big pullback, and then this is the first green day on this day here after having the pullback and the first day one move. Okay, now I missed the day one move and was looking for a first green day, and if you go back and look at how I traded this on the Thursday, I did do a video on this, how I didn't trade this because I missed it, but here is the potential day one after the big run and the pullback. Now it forms this base, and then 7 a.m. here you can see the volume come in because many brokers have just opened and it begins its first green day. I missed that, and I knew I should have been at the computer for that, but I was out having a walk or getting a cup of coffee or something. I was out of the house, and that's all on me. I know there's a time to be at the computer and there's a time not to be. So yeah, that's completely on me. And then did the same thing today. What was that ticker called just then? SGD, SGD, SGN, SGN. Here we go. So yeah, same thing. Big day one, big pullback, and then forms this base, and then 7 a.m. the volume comes in. But my mistake is not being here for that. Okay, so completely and utterly on me for that one. However, it did provide other opportunities, so I am, quite pleased with that. So I didn't get involved with all this. I didn't really even get FOMO because I had a good word with myself over the weekend because of my trading on Friday. I just kind of said, look, if this comes back and gives me another opportunity, I'll take it. Which often you do get with first green days. It has this spike to sort of makes you aware that there's some strength there. This could have a day. This could run. So when it had this pullback to the 30s, I got in. I think I started in at like 31 and then added a bit here and then just sold it all the way up. My best sell being I think like 0.389. So really pleased with those sales. Now I did kind of say in the chat that I felt this could have a second run, but I wanted to wait until market open to see what it did. As it was, I was hoping that it could actually retest these areas, to be honest with you. But as it opened quite near support, it's still kind of 20% up on the day, but it is relatively near support. I kind of bought it in this area around 31, 32, and then when it started to break down, I was a little bit hesitant cutting my position because I felt like it could hold anywhere. But I know I've got this line on the chart for a reason. This is the ultimate risk line. I want it as close to here as possible. And if I'm buying them here, I'm like 20% away from my risk, so it's far too far away. So I should have been completely cutting my trade or sizing in very, very small. But I cut half of the trade and was sort of a little bit of FOMO there, I guess, and then ended up cutting it all as it broke 30. And I gave back $200, so my $350 win, which I made on this, just reduced to like $150. However, I knew that I still wanted to get back in. I just didn't want to hold in case it tested this area. But when I saw the turn here, I jumped in around 0.285 or something like that, and then re-added on this higher low, and then just sold it into VWAP and made, I think, 350 on this. So in total from this ticker, I made $500. But like I say, the ideal trade for me would have been here. And I missed that, and I could have taken this trade and taken this trade and taken this trade but I didn't. But yeah, like I say, $500, and I'm pleased with that. So the next one I wanted to share with you is QH. Okay, so QH, I also traded QH on, which day was it? On this day. I traded this day. So if you go back and look at my video from the 13th, Friday the 13th, you can see how I traded that. So this kind of didn't have as big a bounce as I thought it would have, and like I say, I kind of took this off my radar, to be honest. I was done with it. I'd had my trade off $1 and I was kind of done with it. But when Tanner mentioned this in the chat room on Friday, I thought, you know what, let me see what's going on. I don't exactly know how he traded it, but yeah, I kind of looked at the chart, the intraday, first the daily chart and then the intraday chart, and saw that it was forming this multi-day perfect wedge with descending volume, which is ideal for sort of me, I guess. I don't only trade the wedge, far from it. I rarely trade the wedge, but this is set up really well. Not only is it wedging nicely, but it's wedging off $1. So it's, you know, near enough perfect. So I got in Friday thinking, you know what, if this goes pre-market without me, I want to be in. But I don't like swinging, so I just took a small position, sort of, you know, less than half size really, at 103. Now my plan, I had an alert set on my computer, so if it breaks this wedge about 108, because it was a wide spread, so I didn't want it at like 105 or it just seemed pointless. I put an alert at 108, so I said if it gets to 108 my alert will go off and I'll buy in more, and it did go off and I didn't buy more because I just sort of, I guess I just got a bit scared really. I got a bit scared, but that's okay. You know, I didn't want to take my average up and then risk getting shaken out. But really, I had a plan and I began to doubt it. So I missed that. Sorry, I missed the ad, but I did take this move. I just sold it, so I could have been getting in all here. So it breaks the wedge and then sort of consolidates above it and then bursts. You can see the volume come in. So I just sold it all the way up. I think my best sell was like 145. Quite pleased with holding through this and selling on the new sort of the new high of the day. Normally I just sort of sell all the way up, and then when it starts to break I panic and sell. So it's a bit of an improvement for me there, that I kind of understood that, you know, let this retest. For me, this could have still hit 2. I felt like this ticker had, because had such a big day one, it was so powerful and so many eyes were on it, but ultimately it's not quite had the bounce. I say that this is still a 50% bounce, but you know, these stocks can move, and I thought it might have more juice in the tank. But nevertheless, made around $500 on this as well, so I'm finishing the day just over $1,000. So guys, thank you very much for watching. That's it for today. My plan moving forward is just, I guess, kind of to keep a level head, to keep chill. It can be quite exciting making 4 figures in a day, especially when you're not particularly used to it. So yeah, I just want to keep a chill head about me. I have been through big drawdowns in the past, and I'm aware that you can give your gains back just as quickly as you made them, especially if you don't adapt to changes in the market. So yeah, I am pleased. But yeah, again, moving forward, just want to keep a level head. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Cheers.